A crumbling foundation, internal struggles of the Syrian army. The Syrian army, once formidable, now grapples with deep-seated internal problems eroding its fighting capacity. The morale among the troops is at an all-time low, with many soldiers questioning the purpose of their fight. Desertion rates are high as soldiers are unwilling to fight for a regime they no longer believe in. Many have left their posts, seeking refuge or joining opposition forces. Corruption has weakened the army's ability to wage war effectively, with mismanaged resources and poorly maintained equipment. Funds meant for military upkeep often end up in the pockets of corrupt officials. Reliance on outdated weaponry and rigid tactics makes them easy targets for more agile rebel groups. The lack of modern equipment and training further hampers their effectiveness on the battlefield. These struggles reflect a deeper malaise within the Syrian state, pointing to a regime struggling to maintain its grip on power. The internal discord within the army mirrors the broader instability plaguing the nation. Winds from abroad, external pressures on the Syrian military. The Syrian military has been under immense pressure from various external forces, each with its own agenda and interests. Foreign powers have turned Syria into a chessboard for their proxy wars, with each move calculated to gain strategic advantage. Rebel groups have received substantial support from countries opposed to the Assad regime, including advanced weaponry and tactical training. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and the United States have provided arms, training, and funding, significantly bolstering the rebels' capacity to challenge the Syrian government forces. On the other side, Russia and Iran's military interventions have further internationalized the conflict, making it even more difficult to reach a negotiated settlement. The Syrian economy, crippled by years of war and international sanctions, hampers the government's ability to fund military operations and provide for its soldiers, leading to widespread shortages. This financial strangulation has further eroded the Syrian army's ability to wage a sustained and effective campaign against the rebels, leaving them with limited supplies and deteriorating equipment. A battlefield tilted. Strategic disadvantages faced by Syrian forces. The rebels, familiar with the terrain, have negated many of the Syrian army's traditional advantages. Urban warfare has proven particularly challenging, with heavy weaponry and conventional tactics ill-suited for narrow streets and densely populated neighborhoods. The Syrian Air Force's effectiveness is diminished due to international sanctions and rebel-operated anti-aircraft systems. Rebels control strategically important terrain, forcing the Syrian army into a war of attrition. This has sapped the army's resources and manpower, complicating efforts to regain control of the country. The human cost of this protracted conflict cannot be overstated. It has left an indelible mark on the lives of millions, displacing families and shattering dreams. Civilians, caught in the crossfire, suffer the most, with families torn apart and communities uprooted. The destruction of homes and infrastructure has left many without basic necessities, struggling to survive each day. The psychological scars of war will linger long after the last bullet is fired. Children, in particular, bear the brunt of this trauma, with many experiencing nightmares and anxiety that could last a lifetime. Soldiers, often young and inexperienced, face the physical dangers of combat and the emotional toll of an unending war. Many return home with injuries, both seen and unseen, that alter the course of their lives forever. The Syrian conflict is a tragic reminder of the devastating impact of war on both a nation and its people. Entire cities lie in ruins, and the mourning for lost loved ones is a daily reality for many. The road to peace is fraught with challenges, but it is a journey that must be undertaken for the sake of future generations. Rebuilding a nation requires not just physical reconstruction, but also healing the deep emotional wounds inflicted by years of conflict.